Students, I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to go over your final oral presentation. This is going to take the place of your final exam. So it's hard to believe we are at the end of the semester, but here we are. For your final exam, you are going to create a narrated PowerPoint presentation, much like the one that you did in your midterm over growth mindset, but you're going to present on your problem and solution essay. So I want to talk to you about the expectations for this narrated PowerPoint presentation. First, make sure you introduce yourself. Give a brief introduction about who you are, and what your major is and your long-term professional goals. So for example, if it were me, I would say my name is Logan Dupree. I am an English major here at Gaston, and my long-term goal is to be a professor and teach students how to write and to be confident in their writing skills. You want your audience to know who you are, and you want to give them a sense of the person who's speaking. So make sure you introduce yourself. The next thing is you need to prove that the problem exists, okay? Just as your paper, you want to organize this in an effective way as though you're speaking to someone who doesn't believe the same thing that you believe. So using 3 to 5 slides, you're going to prove that the problem exists just as your essay does. Break up the slides in an organized way, and you can even consider your paragraph formation, topic by topic, unless there's a good way for 2 ideas to flow together. I'm not so concerned about exactly how you do it as much as that it seems organized as you're speaking. And then you're going to be sharing your solution. Use 3 to 5 slides to share your solution. And as I stated for the essay, this is a really great time to consider the 5 W's. Consider who, what, where, when, and why. And again, just consider how it's best organized to convey that information. Ensure that you are providing research. You cannot just throw out what your essay is without using substantial research. That's the whole point of this oral presentation, is to be able to not only convey a message, but be able to use other people's work and prove your points. Make sure that you're sharing the research you included in your essay. And this should flow with ease as you're sharing certain concepts. It should not be choppy, and it shouldn't be random. You should be using at least 3 pieces of research in your presentation. And I would strongly recommend that they are peer-reviewed ideas. And then with that, guys, make sure that you include a works cited page at the end. Thank your audience. When you're done with the presentation, thank the audience for their time, and don't just end your presentation abruptly on a random slide. Don't speak in a monotone voice. This was kind of an issue a little bit on the midterm presentation, and so I want to encourage you to really consider your presentation skills. Have some passion in your voice. Get excited about what you're presenting on. Keep in mind that a big part of this presentation grade is based upon your presentation skills. So speak audibly, consider your pacing and your spacing of information, and be clear in your words. It's okay to pause for a minute if you need to collect yourself, but make sure that you're actively engaging with whoever is going to be on the other side of that YouTube video. And then finally, consider your presentation aesthetics. Make sure that you're using bulleted ideas and add some photos, add some visual aid. Do not copy and paste paragraphs. I cannot express that enough. And that's not going to be acceptable on this final presentation. A presentation is an opportunity for you to speak and to use a visual aid. So with that in mind, you're not reading off of your slides. You should know this information. So use a couple bullet points, or if you're using a quote from an article, that would be a great thing to put on the slide. Your topic sentences would be a great thing to put on the slide, but also use visual components. A lot of people are visual learners, and so when they're listening to you and they're looking at a photo, it gives them another sense of how to learn. So really consider presentation aesthetics. When you're doing this, you're going to be creating, again, a narrated PowerPoint to present these ideas. Please keep in mind that you must have the Office tools downloaded to your computer. The online version does not typically allow recording. Your presentation should be a minimum of 6 slides, okay? And really, guys, that's not enough. It really should be more like 8 or 9. When you consider your introduction, proving your problem, your solution, and then, of course, your works cited page. That's a pretty strong, that's a good amount of information right there. You can have as many as you want, but again, do not copy and paste paragraphs. A presentation should have bulleted ideas with aesthetics involved. It should not be difficult for the reader or the viewer to be reading through tons of words. I mean, they should be able to clearly see the bullets. The recorded presentation needs to be a minimum of 5 minutes and a maximum of 7 minutes. If you go under or over, you will lose points. And then after you record the presentation, you will need to upload that to YouTube. Please ensure you mark the YouTube link as public. Once I have graded it, you are welcome to mark it private. However, if you do not mark it public, I cannot view it and it will result in a failing grade. You do not have to video yourself in PowerPoint. That is welcomed. I think it even helps you engage more. Y'all can probably feel this as students when I do presentations or when I do lectures where you can see me, you probably feel that I'm more engaged. However, you must record your voice. If you do not record your voice and you only turn in a PowerPoint, you will receive a 0. Here are some YouTubes for some how-to videos to help you navigate how to record a PowerPoint. And again, the great news is we've already done this. We did this for your midterm presentation, so this should be review for a lot of you. And please keep in mind there are a lot of technological factors built into this presentation, so please do not wait until the last minute. And I just can't wait to see your work. You've worked really hard on this essay, and I'm confident that the other work that you're going to submit is just going to be wonderful. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm now going to share the oral presentation rubric, and I'm going to go over how you're going to be receiving your grade. So here is the meets expectation and does not meet expectation. Essentially, you should indicate an understanding of purpose and audience, okay? That should be very clear. Your thesis and your point and your message should be evident. A clear focus and logical organization, again, does the way you're presenting the information make sense? Demonstrating rhetorically effective language, okay? Were you monotoned? Did you seem engaged and enthusiastic about the work you're presenting? Are you using collegiate diction? Does it sound like a professional presentation? Okay, a lot of you did a great job of this in your midterm. Some of you, it was a little bit more casual and it was like a conversation. I want you to be really sure that you are just really engaged and that you are considering this as a professional collegiate audience. Did you incorporate and acknowledge your sources? Okay, when you used a quote from an essay, did you talk about who it was by? Did you talk about the article you read it in? Did it flow well into the information that you were presenting? Exhibits a well-prepared and engaging delivery. Guys, what this means is, can I tell that you knew the information? Can I tell you practiced? If you're using a lot of, wait, let me go back here. Hold on. If you're doing a lot of that, it does not look well prepared, okay? I want you to imagine that you have an opportunity to make a change in whatever problem you're conveying. This is your one shot, okay? Doing this presentation is your opportunity to create change in your world. That is something you would prepare for and practice and do well. And then delivers a 5 to 7 minute presentation. And then entire presentation meets or does not meet. Essentially, at the end of all this, Did it pass? Okay. These two are going to have heavier point values, of course. Okay. They're going to be 25 points apiece, whether or not there was a clear message, a clear purpose, and that it was organized. Okay. And then the other points will be divided amongst these four other sections. If you have any questions about where this grade is going to come from, please don't hesitate to ask. The rubric will be attached to the submission link that's within this folder. I hope that this was helpful and that you feel well prepared to create a great presentation. If you have any questions, again, please do not hesitate to reach out and push forward. We are so close to the end. You're doing a great job, and I look forward to reviewing your final work.